And joining me now to talk more about the Education Investment Tax Credit and today's message to lawmakers are Darla Romfo. She's the Children's Scholarship Fund President and CEO. Raki Barlow is with us. He's from the Walk of Art Kids in Brooklyn. And Jorvelyn Tejada, a student at Notre Dame High School in Manhattan, is with us as well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Darla, we'll start with you. I mean, the message today, this has been around for a couple of years in Albany, and you thought you might have gotten there last year and it didn't happen. So the message today is what specifically to lawmakers?
That this is really important for kids like Jorvelyn and so many kids that we can't reach. We help 8,300 kids with scholarships in New York City. It's low-income families. Average income's around $31,000. There are scores more children, thousands more kids that would like to have the same opportunities that Jorvelyn has had and her brother. And we would like to give those kids that opportunities, but this would make it much easier to do that.
Okay, so what we are seeing, though, is this linkage that the governor has put forward, right? He wants to link this to the DREAM Act, mostly for political purposes, because in shorthand, the Senate Republicans, as we've heard, are in favor of this tax credit, and the Assembly Democrats don't love it, but they really want the DREAM Act, so, just put these two things together and maybe you've got a deal. Does that linkage bother you?
I'm not going to comment on the DREAM Act. I mean, I'm very happy that Governor Cuomo put this in his budget. I'm very happy that it has wide bipartisan support. I'm very happy that we have a coalition of over 100 organizations supporting both the public and private side of this. I just think it's a message, it's a loud and clear message from all different, a very diverse group of people saying this is really important. It's important to a lot of people, and we're all here today. All of us are here because we braved the storm. We came up in the snowstorm because we want this to happen for all the kids that we want to be able to help.
Jorvelyn, explain why this is important for you personally.
Well, I'm sorry. This is important for me because I come from immigrant parents. My parents came from Dominican Republic to assure that I would have a better future. And when I was in middle school, well, elementary school actually, I was given the opportunity to receive Children's Scholarship Fund along with my brother and sister, Jason Tejada and Joan Dallas Tejada. And it has definitely benefited them in the long run. My brother, from there he went to another Catholic school, and then now he went to an Ivy. He's a college graduate from Columbia University, and now he's working for a financial institution. And my sister, she's now a pre-med student. She's in college still, but it just shows that through scholarships, children are able to, how can I say, better their future, because the education that's provided through Catholic schools is essential, in my opinion, because it benefits you in the long run because of the individualized attention you receive from the teachers.
So could your family, forgive me, have not afforded this education without the scholarships?
No, my siblings were in public school before.
Okay, so before, just hold on one second. Just before we go any further, Darla, could you though explain, I mean, what we see is an argument from the public school sector that this is a benefit for private school only, right? And that this is some way detrimental, taking money away from public schools.
Which is absolutely not true. That's not factual. First of all, it actually increases the overall amount of money available both in the public and the private sector in terms of charitable giving. It encourages charitable giving. It doesn't take $1 away on what's allocated through state budgets or local budgets. It doesn't take $1 away from public schools. It also, in terms of charitable giving, it doesn't take $1 away from charitable giving, because let's just say that you owe $10,000 in state taxes. Now you can allocate that $10,000 towards Raki's organization, which is helping public schools, or you could give it to my organization that's giving scholarships to low-income kids. Whatever you gave for charitable donations last year, you still have all that pot of money.
So do explain how it works for your organization then.
Well, I work in nonprofit sector, so community-based organization that I'm a part of is called Walk of Art, where we basically are big advocates for art programming in schools. As with most community-based organizations, we're always trying to fill a gap or a void that's not in our community. So when it comes to like art programming in the public schools, we work in some schools who don't have any art programs at all. So being able to have another resource to pull from in order to get monies to flow so that we can service more kids is something that we always are going to want to see happen.
And just to be clear, you're talking about the public school system, correct?
Yes, definitely.
So that's the sector in which you work.
Yeah, it's definitely the notion that this would take away from public schools is totally wrong. Just like she was saying, you increase the overall amount of money, it's resources that could affect thousands of more kids. So it's a win-win is the way that I see the law.
So Jorvelyn's story, right, is one that I think that really tugs at people's heartstrings, right? You're talking about kids getting a great education, going on to do what we hope that everybody does, which is succeed. And yet you again hear, Darla, from people who are on the other side of this argument that this ends up being a write-off for rich people so they can send their kids to private schools.
But it's not a write-off for rich people. I mean, my organization, the average income of the people that we help, $31,000. That's not rich people. I see mothers every day. 80% of our kids are minority, they're Hispanic or black. You know, they're not coming from wealthy backgrounds, and we're helping 8,300 of them. We have a partner program over in Buffalo, the Buffalo Children's Scholarship Fund, services 2,300 kids. Even the dollar amounts of their incomes are even lower. Again, this is most of the, we're non-sectarian, we're not associated with any particular religious group. We're very much a parental organization. You know, Jorvelyn's parents want to do the right thing for their children. They come to us and we say, you know, wherever you want to send your kid to school, that we want to help you do that. So it's not helping a particular religious group. It's not helping, well, some schools, you know, a lot of private schools are Catholic. Will they benefit? Yes, but the idea is to help parents do the right things for their child.
Raki, do you have any idea how many more kids you might be able to help?
I mean, the amount of kids that I'm able to service is directly affected by the amount of resources that we have. So I'll keep saying, as long as we increase the resources that are out there for community-based organizations and nonprofits that are trying to help in these neighborhoods, it's going to be a good thing. So the more money that we can have flowing in, the more people that we can touch, the more kids that we'd be able to help.
And Jorvelyn, you're 18, right?
Yeah.
So you're a senior?
Definitely.
Do you know where you're going on to next yet?
Well, I've heard back from a few schools, but I'm still waiting because, you know, like most schools, they get back to you by early April. So I'm excited to find out.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I thank everyone for their time on
Thank
this
you.
issue. We've been following
you.
it and we will continue to do so.